Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you're doing well. This is going to be my first update for the Deck of Panning project for 2023. This is an Emilynmax creation. This project is based on a booktuber's book reading project idea. And Emily was following this booktuber and she transformed this idea into a makeup panning idea, which I think is brilliant. There's a whole game board involved. It's super fun. It's rolling. You should know the details by now, I'm sure. I am working on 5 products at a time. And unfortunately, I didn't meet any goals on anything for this update, but I did give myself some challenging goals for everything. So I'm not too surprised, but I do have some progress to show you guys. So the first product that was in this project was for the Queen of Diamonds, and the prompt at that time was easy peasy lemon squeezy. And for that, I chose an Ulta Beauty lip oil. I do tend to go through these relatively quickly. This is in the scent Sweet Rose. It was brand new when I rolled it into the project last month. When I rolled it in last month, even though it was brand new, it wasn't filled all the way to the top. It was about here, and now I'm down to here. So I have no doubt that I can't finish it during this year. The question is how soon. I'm only applying this at night currently. I'm applying other moisturizers or lip products at the morning time. That might change at some point, but for now that's the way it's going. So that's progress just based on only once a day use. And I'm pretty happy with that. I think I think that's pretty good for me because you guys know I'm very slow. But yeah, I have progress and I'm very happy about it. I'm not marking the packaging, but for the record, I'm right around the C in juice for this update. For the 7 of Diamonds, the prompt was fragrance, and I chose a scented bronzer from Too Faced. This is my Chocolate Soleil bronzer deluxe sample. I have been working on this previously, a couple years ago, so I pulled it back out with the goal of hitting pan this time, and I was kind of optimistic that I could do it, but no, I did not do it yet. There's still no pan. I got a long way to go, I think. But I am using this every day at this point for my bronzer. And yeah, I'll keep at it. I'll keep working on it. For the 9 of Hearts, the prompt was astrology sign. I was really excited when I got this prompt because I have an old perfume that is actually called Scorpio, which happens to be my astrology sign. This was from Victoria's Secret. The only concern was that I'm also panning little sample perfumes in a separate project. And I was worried I wouldn't make a ton of progress from one month to the next because of that project, but I do have progress and I'm very happy about it. It's not much. This is a body spray, by the way. I think I called it a perfume, but it's technically a body spray. So I can apply it a little bit more liberally than I would a typical perfume. But here's my progress from last month, from the starting point, and then today. So given that, again, I'm pretty confident I can finish this year and it'll be out of my inventory. But I think my progress might vary from one month to the next depending on what samples I pull and how much product is in them. This was a pretty easy month for me as far as those little fragrance samples, but I think there will be other months that are more difficult. But either way, I think this is a pretty good example of what I could do from one month to the next. On the days that I have worn this, I do try to remember to reapply throughout a second time. I don't like spray it throughout the day, but I usually apply it in the morning before I go to work. And then I try to remember to apply it when I get home after work before I take my kids to swim practice. So I do try to reapply at that point. Because it does, mainly because it fades and I can't really smell it anymore, but also because I want to smell nice at the swim practice because I'm sitting by a bunch of other moms and dads. So I am trying to remember to reapply when I can. My goal for that body spray is to finish it as well. Okay, the next card was the 6 of Clubs, and the prompt at that time was a graveyard product. And I went with this little liquid lipstick from the balm called Meet Matte Hues in the shade Committed. I only feel like I wore this a couple of times over the past month. I don't know what it is about this, but I constantly forget it even exists, and I cannot explain how or why that always happens, but maybe it's just because it's kind of small. But yeah, I didn't reach for this a ton over the past month, and it's not gone. But my goal is to finish it. And finally, the last card I drew last month was the Seven of Spades, and the prompt for that was Oh, the Shame. And that is a product that you've owned but have never used. And for that, I chose this little Marc Jacobs Highliner Deluxe sample in the shade Purple Rain. I do have a swatch of it right here. And I haven't worn this much over the last 2 weeks, but towards the start of the month, I wore this quite a bit. Since this was brand new, there was actually a little tip sticking out above the packaging, and now it's well into there. These Marc Jacobs gel crayons tend to go pretty quick. I mean, there's still a lot of product left, just a ton, but I can tell I'm making progress. This is where I am currently at with it. I mentioned at the intro at last month that I could already tell that this pen was drying out a little bit. It was one of the reasons I wanted to reach for it, because lots of people have given me a heads up and warned me that these Marc Jacob highliners do dry out pretty quickly. And what I did to revive it was I rolled it all the way down like this. And then I took my Inglot Duraline. This is a really great product. I waited a long time to buy it because I was using other alternative products that people recommended. And ultimately, I'm really glad I bought this. Well, actually, I didn't buy it. I received it as a gift for my birthday or Christmas one year. But I'm really glad I finally asked for this because it's really the best. It really is the best. I found it on Amazon, but you could also go directly to the Inglot website. But basically all I did was I took this Inglot Duraline. It's got the dropper, and I just dropped one drop right into the top. I got to bring it closer so I can see. There, just one drop right into the top of this pen. Put the cap back on nice and tight and just left it in my bathroom. And when I went to go reach for it again, it was much softer, much creamier, and much more easier to use, because I do like to apply this to my waterline. These Marc Jacob highliners are great for your waterline because they really stay put all day long. I also apply it to my lower lash line sometimes. And so, yeah, that's all I did. So a couple of people asked how I revived this, and it did take 2 times. The first time I did this, I just added 1 drop, and I could tell it was a little bit creamier, but it still wasn't giving me the consistency that a fresh Marc Jacobs highliner should. So then then maybe 5 days later, I added a 2nd drop, and then I got a really nice consistency. And so that's what I just did there, is the 3rd drop. And I don't know if it'll change it much more, but I also don't think it will hurt it. So if you haven't invested in Duraline, I would recommend it because it does a great job of reviving these products that tend to get dried out when we're panning other products. And that's all it takes to get a nice, vibrant, creamy product back again. So I set some lofty goals for these products, and I didn't meet any of them in this first month's update, but I am happy that I'm reaching for most of these products very consistently. And I feel like this project is going well. So I will meet you back here in a month for another update. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Emily. I have her channel linked down below. And don't forget to check out the playlist for the deck of panning. This is a pretty large group collab. So if you'd like to find other project panners that are doing this project either on Instagram or here on YouTube, they're out there. So don't forget to check out some of the other project panners that are doing this project. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.